Okay, so I'm Isaiah. This is Breagha. We are starting a channel where we talk about books because we both like reading books. Um, Personally, I'm most into sci-fi and fantasy stuff, and she is into murder mysteries. So
And thrillers.
and thrillers. Um, but we will, you know, explore other things as well. Um, to get started, we were thinking it would be fun to talk about our favorite books that we read in February because um, we think it would be cool to pick a favorite from each month and talk about it. So I'm going to put her on the spot right now, and she is going to talk about her favorite book from the month of February, and then I'll talk about my favorite book from the month of February as well. So, yeah, let's get into it.
So, my favorite book of the month of February was No Way Out. I don't have a physical copy because I read it on my Kindle. It is a shorter book length. It is about two detectives, and the one detective is able to see the dead as it helps with their murder and finding the person that killed them. And in this book, they're able to use some of the dead from other murders to help solve their current murder.
Sounds pretty cool. I haven't read it personally, so yeah, you'll have to take her word for it on that one. But yeah, it sounds like a pretty good time. Do you have any other thoughts? You know, what did you think of it? Did you like the ending? Did you like, how did it work for you?
So this was my first time reading this author. I do recommend her.
What's the author's name?
First name's Rylie. But I do recommend it. It's good. It gives you a little bit different from my other thriller and mystery ones that I read.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it's also more like English and like Shakespeare. There's some like poets and hymns from them, so if you're into that. I like the ending. It kind of
Don't spoil it, but
brings you back to the beginning, and you understand more of her power.
okay, cool. And just so you know, we will have the book in the description with the author's name in this case because she can't remember it.
And it looks like this.
Yes, it does. Okay, so I guess we'll switch gears now to talk about my favorite book of the month. So yeah, I am, as I said, I'm big into sci-fi fantasy stuff. So my favorite book is A Feast for Crows. I read this for the first time I finished it in February. I started it before that, but yeah, I have seen the Game of Thrones show, and like many people, I wasn't a huge fan of how it ended, so I decided I'd read the books, and the books are phenomenal, and this one is no different. If you're unfamiliar, A Feast for Crows is by George R. R. Martin. So yeah, it follows half of the characters from the series, half the point of view characters. The other half are going to be in the next book, which I'm currently reading right now, and it is also incredible. But yeah, so I don't want to get too much into spoilers, but it follows half the point of view characters, and we see the events that are unfolding across Westeros after the events of the last book, where a lot of things, a lot of huge things happened. Again, without getting into spoilers. So yeah, my personal favorite character in the series is in this book. I yeah, this character, you know, he starts out as a very unlikable character, but then throughout the series, I'm not going to say he becomes a completely good person, but he becomes far more understandable once you get inside his head and understand the world through his eyes. Um, and yeah, there are a lot of great characters in this book too. There are a couple point of view chapters that I didn't like as much. I don't want to spoil anything. I know it's an old book, but I don't want to spoil anything, so I won't go too much into that. But overall, it's really good. It's a little bit slower paced than the other ones, so there is that as well. Like if you liked the other books and you're coming into this one and you're thinking it might be, you know, just as fast paced, like things do slow down, but that's the brilliance of it, because you really get to see the world in a new way. You get to see a new perspectives that you didn't see before, and it really expands the world out, and it feels massive in this one. Whereas in the other books, it did feel massive too, but it didn't have quite as much depth as it does now for me after reading this. So
What book is it? Like in the series?
it's the fourth book in the series. Yeah. So you have the first one, A Game of Thrones, then A Clash of Kings, A Storm of Swords, and then this guy here, Feast for Crows. And yeah, I'm reading A Dance with Dragons right now. So yeah. Anyway, that about does it. I don't know, Bria, do you have any other thoughts you wanted to add before we wrap this up?
No. Just if they have any recommendations for either of us.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's do that. So you can tell how well this was planned out. Yeah, if anyone is watching this and has recommendations for us, drop them down low, and we will we'll check them out. And yeah, that about does it. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, do you hope they enjoyed it?
I also hope.
Okay. All right. Bye.